Hello and welcome to this cosy little rest shrine, tucked away in this quiet corner of the storm horns. We can see the afternoon sunshine hitting the tops of the trees set there, blue sky. No indication at all of the horrors that are to come. So we're getting towards the business end of the life now. We went through Wayloon pretty well. The dire charge was a big part of the strategy there. The only time we really looked like dying was actually the time we died with the alchemist. If you don't have deflect arrows in that room, that sort of central area with the red boss and the multitudes of missile fire in the is it Friends in Low Places quest, you just get this absolutely withering missile fire. And of course we didn't have our DR-15 boots either, so we got hammered. We didn't die, but we were absolutely blasted. So that was a tough one. But otherwise, especially the ending sequences with piles and piles of opponents, because that seems to be the trend for that chain. The dire attack or dire charge did very well there, knocked loads down, and we were able to follow up with our whirlwind and keep the masses to a manageable level. So that was good. Given the hammering we got there, I regret not doing this sooner. I've reorganised the gear slightly. I've borrowed another Saltmarsh piece, a very nice piece for any melee or ranged. Speed on there, 15 bonus to attack speed we didn't have before. There's a Demon Heart Emerald for a few temp hit points. Dodge I don't think we had on the gear, although we are capped on that. And Ghostly isn't bad either. Plus Invis, we didn't have any source of Invis, that can be situationally handy. So I've given up a little bit of attack power, swapped the Whispering Ring for this to give us still our Saltmarsh Explorer bonus without using those crocodile boots, which aside from freedom of movement, I'm not really in love with those. So we've got our DR-15 back on the boots now, and that's proving to be quite nice, keeping us out of the worst of the trouble. And also we've got a Master's Gift on there for a little bit more experience, which I hadn't got before because I was utterly useless at swapping something in before the end of the quests. So that's nice too. On the defensive note, I was sorely tempted at 28 to take Crush Weakness, because that's kind of in tune with our build. We're making a lot of things helpless now with Dire Charge, sorry, the stun element of the Dire Charge and the Stunning Blow. But instead I went with Dayfic Warding for more PRR and MRR, and potentially in combat, as we're being hit all the time, that could go to it could go to a max of 30 PRR and MRR, so that could be really useful when we're surrounded by big packs of things. So at the moment I think that will stand at 148 while raged, is that right? Yeah. With the potential to go as far as 168 and 88. So the MRR is still lacking, but the PRR is beginning to be quite reasonable. We're going to be up over the 60% once things start hitting us. So that's not bad at all. Something else I've done on the defensive side, I should have done it sooner. I didn't realise it was as good as this. This Armour of Dusk, plus 2 armour class and max dex bonus. So it actually gives, obviously plus 2 armour class is kind of neither here nor there in the context of things here. We'll get a few misses from our armour, but as you can see, 50% chance, nothing to be relied upon. But what really was nice, from just putting 1 point in there, our dodge max went from 10 to 12. So if that follows with the next 2 points in there and takes us up to 16 dodge, for medium armour I think that would be very good. So I definitely missed a trick not going in there earlier. Should have reorganised the tree really, but at this late stage I'll just leave it, and the next 2 points we get as we go on up I'll put into there to give us a bit more defence. That I've already mentioned. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just the how effective the dire charge stun is, especially when followed with whirlwind. I could do the dire charge, then the cracking attack for the 2W extra damage, and then do the whirlwind. That would be the optimum, I guess. But usually, as soon as they go down, I hit the whirlwind afterwards. So we're still getting a decent chunk of extra damage against them for the fact that a lot of them are stunned. Right. I don't think we've done this one too often on the channel, on the level up process. We tend to stick with what goes up, don't we? So I'm gonna go for the Tracker's Trap here. See how we get on with that. Hopefully our newly acquired defences will help us some.
Ah, you're here. Be a good sport and lend me a hand.
I'm sure we'll be ticking up that Deific warding in no time.
It can't have gone far. It's somewhere in his glade. I've lost too many pages as it is.
I use a little bit of a fiddle in this first section that I discovered completely by accident. Just interact with this branch wall and you can break it without waiting for the starting sequence.
Two dark-robed wizards appear at the end of the glade.
You accuse me, you skulking, spying little nobleman?
Says one.
Okay, got loads of boost, so let's make the best use of it. Hit the defences for the Reaper. Okay. Let's try not to fall down any silly pits. Healing between times. Don't touch the chest. Those are mimics in here, I think. Nice. So when boosted, we're a pretty fearsome proposition, aren't we? Oh, granted it's only on Reaper 1, but so too was it for the monk, and he wasn't exactly sailing through this content, was he? This fella is doing pretty well in my opinion. And remember, he doesn't have a bird to support him. Crowd control, as you can see, is holding up pretty nicely. Is that a pit? I don't know. That was a huge bundle of lag. What happened there? Wow. Like to lead with the charge in where possible, but if we can get them into a big group and then hit it. That Reaper's caused us a bit of pain, but between the temp hit points and dodge, uncanny dodge, we did okay. The uncanny dodge is on a fairly short cooldown, gives us 20 seconds of 50% dodge boost, stacks with everything, so that's very nice. Look how that cleans up. That was what I've just mentioned. Dire charge and whirlwind attack and things just melt. So the answer to my earlier question, was it worthwhile taking the whirlwind, I think is a resounding yes. At least in the context of our build here. Something's got us exhausted or slowed. I tried to get rid of that just now. Get some temp hit points on, a bit of heal, and close with those buggers. Yeah, the stunning is working stunningly, one could say. Now this is going to be the hardest part of the quest. Just keep the temp hit points going, I think, and hammer away on him as best as we can. I think that's the only way I can do this. Hood of Unrest. I think I'm going to have problems with him knocking me backwards like the big things often do. So it's going to interrupt my rhythm some, but we'll keep trying. Keeping watching the temp HPs. Better put my hat back on. Actually, he wasn't. Oh, of course he wasn't hitting us too much. We had the Hood of Unrest, didn't we? So now he's going to begin to hammer us. I'll put the dodge, uncanny dodge on. Try and get some more misses out of him. Temp hit points back up. Double strike boost. Tracking attack boost. Yeah, I think we're in a good situation here. Yes, between the boosts and the defences, I think we did okay there. Now, remember, every time we activate a boost we also get displacement, so that's helping the defences too. That's come out of the Dreadnought tree. That's savage, that thing now, isn't it? Wow. Yeah. That is working very tidily. I think there was a bit of lag there, otherwise what I did was pretty good, I think. Oh, don't like those chain wielding things. Got to get them on the floor before they start hammering us. Now we could do with looking out for the shrine, because I have been going pretty hard on the old boost button. I think it's up there on the left, is it? And we are going to go for it if so. Is it down there? Yes, happy days. Well, thus far at least I'm really pleased with what's happened there. It's on a 75, the dire charge attack, and I think the stun is on a 65, or was before we rested. So pretty respectable, I think. Fortitude DCs, both of them. Okay, I'm just wandering down now towards the end fight sequence thing, aren't we? Now that's one thing, we no longer have freedom of movement on our boots, which could cause an issue.
Stands in the clearing,
But I think it's a pretty good trade-off against the 15 DR we've got now.
Let's make this painless for me.
With a gesture,
Go on, hammer him.
draws
Yes,
on
nice.
orbs in the corners of the glade, shielding
Okay, now this
himself
could
with
be a
protective
problem. Closing
spell.
with these things might get us pushed away, might it? No? Okay. But having to get up to the top thing there, I think we're going to have to go through these folk to get to that, aren't we? That's unfortunate. Let's try and bunch them up if we can. Nice shot. Okay, well the boost is still going. Can we just come and smash this thing up?
The magic
Yeah.
orbs destroyed. Shy's shield goes down.
Sadly, no crowd control against this one.
Taking a breath,
That's not bad.
Shy deftly
Okay.
casts a spell, restoring both her shield and the orbs.
Crikey, every time I want to kill that thing, am I going to have to go up the... Oh, can I just sort of jump up here and avoid... Ah, okay. There's a fiddle to it, except when that happens. So I need to just jump round the side and avoid the troops massing on the other side, if possible. Okay, quick while we've got the boost going. Oh! Why is she not... Oh, is the other one still there? I didn't realise that. Okay. Just keep an eye on the temp hit points, get the boost going. Oh, Black Dragon Bolt, don't like that.
Taking a breath,
And exhaustion.
Shy deftly casts a spell, restoring both her shield and the orbs.
Ah, they're a bit too spread out for my liking. That lot, we got them stunned beautifully though. Nice, I think we killed that before it pushed us away, so... Yeah, the venture into melee for this life has taught me something new about this this corner, that you can sort of dodge a bit, although being pushed away like that is a problem. And now we've got another problem with all this stuff. Well, look at the crowd controlage there, that's tasty. And the raging attack against the caster there just to get rid of him. He's doing handily, I think, at the moment. I think he's in a stronger position than our monk was. Probably because the monk was relying on renewal, wasn't he, largely? Renewal and the... he had a healing strike, didn't he? Whereas this fella can just cheat until the cows come home with these temporary hit points. Come on, don't run away. I'll have to remember to get rid of that exhaustion again. Right.
To my aid.
So we're not doing too badly against boss types. We're beating them in reasonable time, I think, for the level we're on.
Flies into a rage at the loss of her faithful.
And against the sort of run-of-the-mill trash, we're doing very nicely. Happy days.
Nobleman. The wizard wheezes with her final breaths.
I thought that was more than acceptable. I'm quite surprised actually at how well we did there. We never looked in too much trouble defence-wise, did we? And yes, look, the defect warding's taken us up I'm sure in the middle of the battles it was even higher, up towards 160 maybe. But yeah, we're in a half decent place with the PRR now, so that's great too. Nothing but good things to say this time around. That's got to be a first for me, hasn't it? At least since the first few levels. I'm drawn back to a comment one of you made about sort of getting a feel for the peaks and troughs of your various builds along the course of the leveling process. And certainly this one, I think if we were to draw a bit of a graph, there would be an enormous peak at the start, wouldn't there? He just comes right out of the gate, guns blazing, and you carry that on well into mid-heroic, maybe even further than that. There's a bit of a sort of a coming back down to earth in the higher heroic, simply because we don't have a heal until epic, and the using only blood tribute, whilst possible, does become a little bit more of a risky strategy, and you're prone to, like spike damage, the black dragon bolt, that kind of thing can cause some issues. Then I suppose there was a bit of a lull as well in early epic while we basically that was caused by the trip bug, or the trip situation, let's call it, because one of you might point out that it isn't a bug, I don't know. To me it felt like a bug. It was working nicely in later heroic, and suddenly nothing in epic, even against targets you would have bet your house on that they would be tripped. And against targets that weren't making reflex saves for our alchemist selves. So it's a really strange one, that, at best. But anyway, once we got this dire charge working as an AoE trip, granted we weren't getting the extra damage, but we were able to contain opponents again. So that was at 23, and we began to get the upper hand again. And from 26, with it working as a stun, I just don't think we've looked back. You've seen there how efficiently he cleans up against the stunned targets, and how many he can stun, because it works in a nice wide circle, that thing, when you hit it. So against packs of opponents, it's pretty devastating. So I've no regrets at all. I'm sure if we'd have gone in Fury, we'd have seen big numbers and the ticking heel from the mantle, and we'd have had other positive things to say. Maybe we can do that another time. But no regrets at all about how, because I'd planned to have this one as the main one, and I don't think it's let us down. So happy days on that score. One more to go. We'll obviously finish up the Stormhorns, take the Sagas, which should probably put us well into 29, I would guess. And then I'll have to find something, maybe something that we haven't done too many times already. What could we do? Definitely not what goes up anyway. I guess it'll be something out of either Delira's. I don't really want to do Delira's because it's not showing our potential to the fullest with the stunning and that. I'll see anyway. We'll come up with something. But we're leaving on a very positive note this time anyway. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I'll see you for the concluding episode in the next one. Take care.